So as we move on in the derivatives unit, the next rule we're going to take a look at is when we have a sum and difference when we're looking at derivatives. So adding and subtracting. So the first one is if you have a function f plus g and it's asked to find the derivative, you can just take the derivative of f and the derivative of g. So this is just another notation, but essentially saying the same thing. So then looking at the next one, if you have a function and you're subtracting, but asked to take the derivative, you can just take the derivative of the first term and subtract the derivative of the second term. Again, another way to say it, just a little bit more fancy in function notation. So let's look at two examples. The first one asking us to find f prime. So whenever we're doing these examples, we do want to simplify the expression first. So in this case, you have 1 plus x times 2 minus 3x, and this is all over 2x. So let's expand the top and collect like terms, and you'll end up getting 2 minus x minus 3x squared, and this is all over 2x. Then we can take each term in the numerator and divide it by the term in the denominator. So this would be 2 divided by 2x minus x divided by 2x minus 3x squared over 2x. Then we can simplify. So this first term ends up being just 1 over x, or you can say x to the negative 1. The second term, the x cancels, and this ends up being just 1/2. And then the last term, you have the x cancel 1 in the numerator with 1 in the denominator, and this is just 3 over 2x. So we've done all that work, and now if we want to figure out f prime of the function, so now f prime of x, we can use the differences rule, where we just need to take the derivative of each of these and then subtract. So this first one, if you take that negative 1 from the top, bring it down and have x, and then take negative 1 minus 1, it's now negative 2. As we saw from our previous lesson, the derivative of a constant is just 0. And then that last one, we would have a 1 that we're bringing in front, so minus 3 over 2, because that would be times 1. And then when you subtract 1, your numerator or your exponent would have a power of 0, and we should remember that anything to the power of 0 is 1. So this whole term would end up being 1. So then we can just simplify this a little bit further or make it look nicer, and that first term will be negative 1 over x squared, having a positive exponent, minus 3 over 2. And then we're done there. So we're taking a look at each of those derivatives individually and then subtracting. I'm just going to erase this quickly to use that space. We'll go here. That's not working. My eraser's not showing up. Oh, there it is. Wrong one. Sorry about that. So I'm going to erase this, and then we'll take a look at that second one. So if you're following along with me, you can start by expanding if we can. So in this case, this is x plus 3 all over 2x to the power of 1 over 4. So just like our previous example, we want to simplify first, and to do that, I'm just going to bring the x term up by multiplying. So hold on, I'll bring the x term up. So I'll have x to the power of negative 1 over 4, because I'm bringing it out of the denominator. And that's going to be multiplied by x plus 3, and this will be all over 2. Then I'll distribute that x through. So I'm just simplifying what I can. So I'll have x with negative 1 over 4 times x. So I'd have to add 1 and negative 1 over 4, and that would be x to the power of 3 over 4, and then plus 3 times x to the power of negative 1 over 4, and this is all over 2. Then I can do what I did in the previous example, put each term in the numerator over 2, so that will now be x to the power of 3 over 4 divided by 2, plus 3 over 2 x to the negative half. So I've simplified this as far as I can. Now I can look at finding f prime of x, and now I'll follow the power rule. So I'll bring the 3 over 4 in front. So 3 over 4, and then that will now be times x over 2, and then 3 over 4 minus 1 would give you negative 1 over 4. Then I'm going to add on the next derivative. So I still have 3 over 2 out front, And then I'm going to bring down that negative 1 over 4. And then my x term, I'll have negative 1 over 4 minus 1, and that will be negative 5 over 4. I need to simplify a little bit further, and that's just with those coefficients out front, and that would end up being 3 over 8 when I multiply my numbers here, and x to the negative 1 over 4, and then I'll have minus 3 over 8 times x to the negative 5 over 4. So it looks a bit complicated in terms of the number, but I think the concept is not that bad. As always, I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please stay tuned to more videos, and definitely if you're taking chemistry, check out my channel. Thanks for watching.